Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are working in my December Daily 2022 album on story number 16. And I have talked about this story for the last couple of days, I feel like, or the last couple of videos. I am going to be documenting cookie making. So I've got kind of a big plan of sorts for this particular spread. So I am using the half circle die cut pages. I'm going to be using the insides of these pages. This is part of story 15, and then this will be part of story 17. So in here, I am going to place a plate of the cookies that I recently made, and then I'm making a little booklet of sorts as well. And so I have a picture of each cookie and then the recipe that I'm going to be including in the booklet. So I made shortbread cookies, peanut butter cookies, and then my favorite cookies, these white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. And I will have the recipes that I used for each of these cookies linked in my description if you are interested in making any of them. They all turned out really good. For these peanut butter cookies, though, I didn't use the recommended peanut butter, so mine, I think, came out a little bit more crumbly than what they should have, just because I used, like, Publix organic Greenwise peanut butter, not like the Jiffy or the Jif or Skippy peanut butter I think the recipe recommends. So I've also got this little acetate pocket that I kind of prepped ahead of time. And essentially my little booklet is going to go inside of this pocket. I got one photo of one of the kids helping me make cookies, and it was only because Luna wanted to use the rolling pin. It's an adorable photo though, I love it, so I'm going to try and incorporate this into the spread somehow. So yeah, let's get into it. So, like I said, I'm going to be putting this picture, I'm going to be pasting it, probably cutting it in half and then pasting it onto each side of the circles to make a full kind of like plate situation. And then I'm going to be making a booklet. So to make my booklet, I did cut out just some regular cardstock. I'm using the Astro Brights Premium Smooth cardstock. I got this from Target, I think. And this is cut to be 6 1/8 of an inch by 4 inches tall. So, and then I'm going to put a crease down the middle. I'm only going to need, I believe, 2 pieces of this. And then I'm gonna, once I have the crease, just sew them together. So I am using my Cricut paper trimmer. And a bone folder here. So I'm going to move it to 3 and then a 1/16, I believe, on my paper trimmer, since I cut them at 6 1/8. And then I'm just going to press this in where the fold is. So then that should be exactly half here. And then there we go. And then this should fit both my picture of my cookie and the recipe as well. So I'm going to do that again and then take it to my sewing machine and sew it right down the middle, just using a regular stitch. So I will be right back to show you what that looks like. Okay, so like I said, 2 pieces of cardstock is what I've got. It's going to give me a total of 3 little spreads, and then I just sewed it right down the middle using my sewing machine and just a regular stitch. So you'll see once you've put them together and fold it. Let's see if I can get this to focus on that. It's not even, on the edges just because it's one paper inside of the other. So I'm actually going to use my X-Acto knife and trim that just a bit and then go on about adhering my cookie pages to it. Apparently I am a little too aggressive with this because I definitely just cut into my ruler. So let me switch my side there and maybe be a little bit less aggressive. I think I'm gonna just need to kind of stop messing with that before I mess up the whole thing. I probably should get a metal ruler so that I can't cut into the plastic. Okay. For my first cookie page, I'm going to paste the white chocolate macadamia nut cookies because, like I said, those are my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and get that put in here. I printed the recipes on sticker paper. Just kidding. I guess I didn't print the recipes on sticker paper. I must have had like a random piece of cardstock in my sticker paper thing. So I'm just gonna adhere these down. Hopefully that doesn't cause me too many issues when it comes to putting this in my album. Because this book is gonna end up being quite thick. So hopefully it will fit into the pocket and not mess anything up. I wasn't accounting for printing that on cardstock. I was accounting for it being on sticker paper to be a little bit thinner. Okay, so this is how the inside of my little booklet is going to look. I've got my recipe and then a picture of the cookie that it will make. So this one that I'm doing now is for shortbread cookies, and the recipe had you dip it in chocolate and then put chopped up pistachios on it, but I wanted to make it just a little bit more festive, so we actually kind of crushed up some candy canes and I sprinkled candy cane on it to make it a little bit more Christmassy. Shortbread cookies are my husband's favorite cookie, so that is why I ended up making these. He said that he thought they were delicious. So if you are a shortbread cookie fan, definitely check out the recipe that's linked in the description for it. I got all of these recipes off of Pinterest. The white chocolate macadamia nut recipe I made last year. So this is my second year in a row making them. So if that tells you anything about how much we loved it, then there you go. I'm probably going to trim that down just a little bit with my X-Acto knife again and hope that it actually works in my favor. And then these peanut butter cookies, my husband doesn't like peanut butter, so I didn't get his opinion on them. Like I said, I used an organic peanut butter, so they were a little bit more crumbly than I think that they were meant to be. But I think that they were pretty good, and the kids loved them. So we've got white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, shortbread cookies dipped with milk chocolate and peppermint. Oh my goodness, y'all. I did not put that on the right page. Okay. Thank goodness I used regular cardstock, because at least I could pull this up and then place it back down. Okay, so this is for the peanut butter cookies, and then the shortbread cookies goes on this page. I had specifically laid out the pictures and the recipes so that I wouldn't do that, and wouldn't you know, I still ended up doing it. It's all right though, it was an easy fix. My page of the shortbread cookies is a little bit bent, but it'll be fine. I'm just going to pull this back over and fix this last page. If you see, it's a little bit wonky on the edge there. I think I'm just gonna have to live with it. Stop messing with that. I also have this little die cut here that I think would be super cute to put on the top of this. Nothing says home, like the smell of baking. I love this back one though, and I don't really want to use it. But also, I feel like it fits perfectly. So I'm just gonna go for it and stick this on here. So we've got a little booklet. Nothing says home, like the smell of baking, and then all of the recipes that I made this year. I love this. I'm going to be so excited in the future when I come back and I'm looking at this album and I'm looking at these cookies, because if I do say so myself, they look delicious. I'm going to want to know what recipes I used, and now I've got them right here. So let's check and see if this is going to fit in my little pocket that I made. It bends my acetate a little bit. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't do that. It's a little thick. It's a little thick, y'all. So let's set that aside and then start working on this. I'm trying to think of what the best way to do this would be. I think I should just go for it and cut them out. I was kind of thinking if I left a side open on one side, I could maybe do some stamping, like stamp out cookies. So I might do that instead of cutting directly in the middle. Let's just make sure that's gonna leave us enough to adhere our cookies. So I'm going to place these on this side and these on this side. So what I think I might do is actually adhere it this way. That way I can make sure my circle is covered. Doing stuff like this really trips up my brain. So then hopefully those will open the way I want them to. All right, so I'm thinking I might go ahead and stamp cookies out here. I'm going to start with the K since that is the middle of the word cookies. And as I've said before, while stamping in this album, I haven't done much of it, but I am not going to try and make everything perfect. I think I might, oh, you know what? I'm going to do so good. There's these little words on here. I'm going to just go ahead and stamp so good right next to cookies after the S. Okay, perfect. So this will be the main portion of it. And I am going to go ahead and repunch my holes real quick. I might have to repunch these holes with the bigger option. I'm not sure if I like the way that the hole punch looks on the opposite sides. But when it's in the album, that might not really even be noticeable. So I guess we'll see. Okay. So this will go here. And I was thinking of putting my number right on top of here. So this is going to be story 16. So if I have this in here, okay. I think I like these gold ones. I think I might just slip this picture of Luna right in the back, because there's technically 2 little pockets in here. So I think I'll just kind of leave it like that and potentially add another piece and do some journaling behind her photo and potentially make that into a tag later on. But as of right now, I think that I am done. So this is going to be story number 16. Let's get it back in my album. All right. Yeah, these are a little snug. So off camera, I'm probably going to repunch these holes to be the next size up on that hole punch. And then I do like that when these are out, you can still see the cookies behind it. I think that's great and exactly how I wanted it to appear. All right, that is all I have for today. This is going to be story number 16, my cookie spreads. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.